Oh, wow. Well, hello. And I'll get this out of the way in just a second. Hi.
Hi. You just wanted to show everybody what you've been working so hard on.
Yes.
For a little extra time there. No worries.
Awesome. No, I hope that, all of you who are joining us are liking the new thumbnails and graphics that we're trying to put out. We're really trying to step up the game over here. So welcome to today's episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am your Word Witch and Dragon Slayer crone, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme, our traveling crystal crone that's sedentary for the moment until she begins turtling again.
I'm gone this weekend.
Are you?
Yeah, no. So we're having to go to Virginia this weekend, Northern Virginia. So those of my Hampton Roads, which is Southern Virginia folks, don't think I'm traveling there. I'm going to be dropping. We're doing the Let's Go drop all of Genevieve's stuff off.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so it is. It'll be good. I just got confirmation from her this morning. It's when you think we think maybe it's a misnomer, but you think that your kids, they move out of the house and you're all done, right?
Oh no. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's what they try to suck us into believing. That's what that is.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's a
You'll get your life back. No, you don't.
No. I mean, your girls are much older than my kids. So you definitely speak with a lot more wisdom in that. But it's kind of funny because, we have now, granted, Genevieve went to college and literally it was suitcases because, we lived overseas. Mm-hmm. And, everything that she got, thank you, Amazon. I want every Amazon. They were remarkably fabulous.
Nice.
Because it was like, oh, you need what? Okay, Amazon. All righty, it's on the way. But now that we have all the belongings on this side of the pond, now we're getting ready to bring down her belongings because she and a group of friends have rented a place. And so she's like, I want my bed.
It's amazing how comforting having your own bed is. And it could be a completely new mattress, new box spring, but that frame, it's amazing. I moved into a furnished apartment up here.
Yeah.
And I didn't need any of my furniture, thank goodness, because I sold most of it before leaving Arizona. But the one thing I kept was the bed I bought for myself 20 years ago that was in the guest bedroom.
Yeah.
It was a year before I finally went to the landlady and said, look, I would really like my own bed. Can you do something else with this frame, which was a wonderful frame, sturdy, bed never moved.
Yeah.
It wasn't the wrought iron lace work that I've got for my headboard. And, there was no footboard to it. And I like my bed. So I get where Jen is coming from that way.
Oh yeah. So we're going to be bringing her bed, and Mim, Mama Crone, Mim is what my kids call her, is supplying a bunch of stuff, and her aunt Tracy is also supplying stuff. And then I have a cousin he's like, here, I have stuff. So one of the things Kevin's off doing right now is renting a U-Haul.
Oh, Oh, very nice.
Well, we don't have a large enough vehicle.
With the Defender, you didn't have a large enough vehicle?
Well, the Defender's big, but not that big.
Okay.
And yeah, no. So yeah, for everybody, a Defender. We have a 1996 Defender. So a 110 for those
at home. This is Mim. Hi, Sue. Also known as Mim, also known as Mama Crone.
Yeah.
Please continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, it's definitely a family event, getting things ready. And so I asked Jen, I was like, so do you have anything else on your wish list? Because she sent me a bunch of requests. And she's like, anything anybody would like to offer up, I will gladly consider.
Nice. What's on the request list for her?
So I'll pull it up. Let me see. Okay, it was on. I have to pull it up. But I mean, like kitchen items, because it is, and that's the other aspect is I'm like, well, what's everyone else bringing to the party? So she has two of the friends are bringing sofas, living room furniture.
Mm-hmm.
And she seemed, because she's the one, she is the big cook. She's like, well, I'm the one who seems to be doing that. One of the things they're looking for is a grill. So if anybody has a grill and you're watching and you're in the Fairfax area and you have a grill that you're trying to get rid of, that won't cause fires, by the way, it has to be in good working order. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be brand new. Yeah. But she's like, we would love to have a grill so we can grill. Let me see. I'm pulling it up right now. Maybe. Oh, plates, bowls, cooking bowls, glasses of all kinds. A grill, which I said, silverware, chest of drawers, dressers, coffee table, a crock pot. Oh, I don't know if I wrote that out. So a crock pot, like storage cabinet things, chairs. They need chairs. And they want 2 or 3 like dining room type tables because this place has a lot of spaces. And they are a toaster is another one. They're really big game players. They like to play different games. They aren't partiers per se as much as they do movie nights. They play games. They like to play role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons. The ones that you have to paint the models. I forget the name of that one.
Oh, Forge. I got one of those for my grandson. Actually, I got him a gift certificate, and they've never gone and had it cast. But I know what you're talking about with the little men.
Yeah, and they're casts, and you have to. It's a full on thing because it's an arts and craft, and then a game thing. And so they do that. They play, but they play all kinds of things. As a matter of fact, it was kind of funny. I was downstairs. Sorry, everybody, if you hear that. That's my washer and dryer. I was downstairs unpacking boxes in our office, which is it's a finished basement. This past weekend, and I'm unpacking games, and I realized that Genevieve had games that she had bought last summer while she was home in the Netherlands, because the group that was at the farm, all the college kids, they were getting together like nightly playing games.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I don't want to say they weren't drinking because drinking was involved. I know that. And smoking weed was involved too. And because remember, Netherlands, very, very legal there. Mm-hmm. And look is my camera shaking? Sorry.
You got vibration from the dryer?
The whole room is vibrating right now. The house was built in 1907, so
it is what it is. You know, it's funny because where I'm at, the downstairs people added in a washer and dryer into a closet space.
Yeah.
That obviously that section of the house was not reinforced for that kind of weight.
Yeah.
So my stove is right over their washer and dryer, and I'm like, if I bake a cake, I'm going to tell you so that you cannot do laundry because it'll
make it flat.
yeah,
I won't. It won't be a tall one.
no, not at all, not at all.
Yeah. So no. So questions for anybody who's watching. What do you? I mean, think about when you moved into an apartment or a house. Was there something that someone gave you or you picked up and you're like, oh my God, or one of your kids? You know, put it in the comments. It's like, oh, they need to have this or they need to have that. Because anything that we can pre-stage to get there will be helpful.
Nice. I have something to offer. Not that I'm giving it to you, but as an idea. The favorite thing that I have right now that I recently got is a Cuisinart toaster oven, right? It's like because it's an air fryer, it's a grill, it's an oven, it does toast, it does pretty much everything, and it fits in a 2x2 space.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's very functional. I mean, if
we have a Breville.
Huh?
We have a Breville version.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, and I have to say it's great because you can cook a frozen pizza in there easy, and like on those odd days, they have more hot days down in Fairfax, Virginia, than we've experienced so far. But it's really nice to just make that be what you're heating up versus a full size oven.
Absolutely. Yeah, or even because, reheating things, if you don't want to use a microwave or it's got some sort of crust on it that'll just become goo if you do.
Yep.
Those are perfect for that. Just perfect. Anyways, so yeah.
That's a really good idea. That is. I don't know what they have for counter space, so I'll inquire about that. Plus, like I said, so there are 6 of them, and 6 different households contributing, and so all the parents are supposed to be descending with all this stuff. I'm like, I feel like that this could end up going not sideways, but definitely they could. I don't want them to have 6 of everything,
Right. Well, has anybody considered possibly doing a group Amazon wish list that all the parents could click into and say, I got this, I got this, I got that?
That that would be very helpful. No, I have not been put onto said wish list. Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, I'm just gathering stuff that, like, we have extras in the house. And if it was after our storage move, which will arrive next month, I would have more items to add, but maybe it'll pan out better for Greg or Zach. Because at the moment, Gregory was supposed to be going to Virginia. However, now he's been applying to jobs in many different areas. So
gotcha.
I'm like, you're going to go where the job is. Don't limit yourself.
There you go. How did he do on his test?
So he's okay. It's so funny. He hit the marks that they required. So you had to do 290 or better tests. He's done that. Then they're like, so then he said, oh, I did this. And they're like, I want you to go back and do this, this, and this. So he's been finishing up with the, that list of things. And actually he hit the mark on all that. But now he said, you know what? And he emailed them again yesterday. So now he's back waiting for them to get back to him. I have to say that being somebody who's done certifications, many certifications, not in the world of computers or IT or cybersecurity, but in health and fitness, this has definitely impressed me greatly. because the requirements and the actual thoroughness of the instructors and the school itself, verifying what the students are doing has been very impressive on my end. Is it, I think, frustrating for Gregory on his end? Yeah. But it's, because they're making him do more than just memorize the exam, which is what our kids have been programmed to do.
Yeah.
They're actually helping him to, memorize his job.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice. So I'm really impressed. I really recommend it.
Yeah. That's wonderful. That's absolutely phenomenal. Oh geez. What was I just gonna say? Forget now. Oh, that's one of the things that I think they've been doing for a long time, is teaching kids to regurgitate prescribed answers.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, memorizing the test. Well, this is what we want you to say. When we ask this question, this is what we want you to say. Has nothing to do with whether it's accurate, true, just, all of that, ethical. And it's getting rarer and rarer that people are taking the time to teach people how to think.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And so it's been interesting watching him, and especially like on Sunday afternoon when I was downstairs all day, or all afternoon unpacking and reorganizing. I would, because that's where he is. He's down in the basement office. And so I was watching the process, not like intently, because frankly, I was trying to empty boxes. That was priority number one. But it was really interesting watching that process of what the whole thing. And I was like, this is what we should be teaching, or this is how we should be teaching. I guess maybe it's just teaching processes, because that's all, that's essentially what cybersecurity is it's understanding the processes in order to secure this, the networks. And so it was really interesting. So yeah, in any case, he's excited. He keeps applying for jobs. He's still active for a couple of jobs. Nice thing is, for a few of the jobs, they've gotten back to him right away saying either, he's not the right fit, or not at this time, or, it's, so I appreciate the fact when they respond back quickly.
Yeah.
So kudos companies for doing that.
Yes. Yeah, it's so frustrating out there in the job market when the business itself is like, oh, we need to hire somebody for this position.
Yeah.
So, it's going to take us, like 2-3 months. And oh my gosh, we just had this huge thing fall in our lap, and they just don't get back to the person, or they leave them hanging. You've had 2 interviews and then you're not called back again for 3 weeks. People can't survive in the meantime without a job.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times they just don't get that people do want to work.
Yeah.
People do want to work.
Yeah. And I, is one of the things that we learned in TAP class, which is our transition assistance program to transition out of the military into the workforce, is that sometimes jobs will be listed that really are listed because by law they have to be listed, but in truth they're being hired. It's somebody who's already being hired internally for that position. And so, that's been a discussion that Greg and I have been having with regards to what it is that he does, and how, remember, sometimes by law they have to list this job. So you have to keep applying to different things. Don't think that it's I just turn in the one application and that's it.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was one employment officer said to me, your job right now is finding a job.
Yeah.
That's what you do,
Yeah.
So good luck to Gregory. That's awesome. Absolutely
Yes.
awesome. All right, my dears, we got a little bit going on today, so let's get started. Well, so coming from a completely not trained or skilled astrologer, I'm just looking at these two transits for today. There's a couple of other ones that are coming later in the week that I don't want to confuse things with, because this is actually a really good one to clean out those residual thoughts, those nasty thinkings in your head. So the Venus sextile Chiron, the Venus aspect will shine a light on the wound that has had its way with you over the years, if you will. And we also have this Mars square Pluto, which shows that challenges are going to happen among your groups. Okay. So whatever wounding has happened due to groups in your life is probably going to be on your mind a lot today. Now, security and confidence can be achieved by remembering to be true to yourself. You know, how many times have we in the past like gone, in order to fit into this group, I'm going to cut off my arm so that I can be just like them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then, right.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, in addition, even expanding out from that, we can tend to say no for other people, accept defeat by over compromising, if you will. Projecting what you think that they require from you and showing up that way, even though it's not authentic to you, just to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one that's ever done that? You know, no. Well, this is a time for those memories to pop up, our awareness, Venus, shed a light on it, and honor yourself. Remember that you're worthy. You're just as worthy as any other human being on the planet, more so than many of them. And it's time to make sure that your focus puts you first. All right. All right. So let's go forward with that today as far as the transits happening. Also, we've got the sun in Gemini and the moon in Leo. So you're really going to find a lot of ability to see both sides of things. Right? It's going to be very bright, very in your face, but you can also see both sides of things. You can see how you had to behave that way in the past in that direction, and you can also see another way to do it in the future. All right? Does that make any sense to anybody? I hope. All right, my dear. Let's take. Do you still have in your many travels?
Yes.
Do you still have the stickers?
I do actually have stickers, and funny enough, I also have pins, and I actually know where they are. So if anybody wants some stickers, I haven't made any new ones or created anything new lately. Essentially, I was like, I have to get through the moving.
Yeah.
You know, we have to get through and decide and all these other things. But yeah, no, I do have stickers. So if you are interested, let me know, because I would love to send you. And since I don't have to fill out custom forms, it makes things so much easier.
Those custom forms, amazing. Oh my gosh.
They really are. They really are. So I love how you were just talking about essentially, you know, us being whatever shape peg we are. I typically think of myself as, you know, a like 12-sided star.
Oh, I like it. That's very pretty.
I think long ago I probably started off as only, a regular star, and then I became like 8-point star. And, through time, I feel like now I'm like a 12-point star, maybe even more. Who knows? But and I'm trying to shove myself in everybody's round hole or whatever shape it might be. So yeah, I totally understand. I really believe that when you reach a point in age, or maybe it's just you reach a point in your self-awareness where it's like, you know what, I don't have to alter who I am to conform to what other people want to make them feel comfortable. What I have to do is let them make the choice to want to be part of my life.
Yeah.
There is so much power in that, right? So I think it's great that you brought that up, and that kind of is the energy overall. It actually falls into conversations that we've been having here in the house, especially with Gregory, and of course this whole, trying to go find a job, and it just, discovering who you are at 23, especially after feeling like you had your entire world implode because what you had planned to do didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
Right. Those are those things. We all have had those. Sometimes our path is, takes a right turn, Clyde. Mm-hmm. And it's like goes in a totally different direction. And it doesn't mean that it's bad, and it doesn't mean that it's wrong. 9 times out of 10, I think those are the paths that direct us into really where it is we're supposed to go. Mm-hmm. We just have to be open to the fact that that is really our highest good at that moment. Yep. So in any case, so the really cool thing is with the Aqua Aura. So Aqua Aura is essentially a quartz crystal that has been treated with gold that gives it this gorgeous blue iridescent rainbowy look, and it makes it dance and shimmer. It was really kind of cool in April when we were at the Gem and Crystal jewelry show, Tracy and I doing some shopping for Class Act Import. I saw some Aqua Aura. I wasn't impressed with it, so I didn't pick it up, because this is one of those stones that the more I've talked about it with you guys, the more I'm realizing it would be good for me to work with. So because it is one of those crystals that actually is a multidimensional healer. So it doesn't just work on this physical dimension. It works in the emotional dimension. It works in our spiritual or our spiritual dimension. It works with the etheric. It works on all these different levels. And for me, I like it when I can do work, even especially self-improvement kind of work or self-awareness kind of work. And I get a lot of ticks with the limited amount of stuff I do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I am one of these people that it's like, oh, I don't like to just work on one muscle group when I can work on, 3 muscle groups all at once and be doing it efficiently and effectively to bring it to a physical form side, thing. So that's the really cool thing when you're working with Aqua Aura. It is a feel-good stone. It's one of those ones that makes you feel better. It makes you feel better through communication. So with everything in the energy that's been going about, a lot of it does come down to communication. Now, you and I were talking about communication. Before we came on, mainly being the observer of communication with others. And, tonality and attitude with how we present can be very influential and powerful. You can ask the same question of, how are you? Are you okay? With compassion, or what what's wrong with you?
Right?
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so, depending upon how you ask that first question,
Mm-hmm.
or you ask that question in the tone and the body, everything is going to depend, is really going to predict how that person is going to answer back.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to match energy?
Yeah.
You're going to, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So Aqua Aura is one of those great communicators that helps you. It doesn't help you, learn to ask the right question, but maybe it'll help you pause to reformulate the question.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's think this through for a second, because we do have, like, for example, a really good comparative. Last week we were talking about the blue lace agate, right?
Yeah.
And that blue color and how it works with the throat chakra, and the
Yes.
agatize, the bands soften and gentle to our tone as we're talking about things or asking about things or communicating, right?
Yeah.
And now this week we're looking at the Aqua Aura Quartz, which is a combination of quartz crystal that amplifies whatever it is associated with, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And gold, which is the masculine metal.
Yeah.
Okay? Not, whereas silver's the feminine metal.
Feminine metal. Yeah, true.
So if that's what we're looking for to help us in our speaking, that's not necessarily to mean that masculine is going to be like overbearing and berating and we got to tell you what you're all. It's not a mansplaining crystal. That's not what it is, right?
No, but not at all.
A directness, a strength, a possession involved there. And if you need to amplify your confidence in your ability to say something direct that you may be a little concerned that it's not going to be received the right way, right?
True.
The Aqua Aura Quartz, I believe, can really help you do that, to be able to be direct without being blunt or brutal.
Yes. There is a difference being direct and being rude.
Yes, absolutely.
They're two totally, you can be a very direct person and still have it be, and still have compassion within your voice.
Yeah.
And then there's just plain rudeness.
Yes.
And, and after living in countries where the people are very direct, you learn and understand the difference. And I appreciate directness. I also appreciate compassion as well. But yeah, definitely. It's a great stone. So if you're feeling blue,
yep.
It's a great stone to have around to help you get out, to help you overcome the blue. Being blue can be correlated with depression or just having some down energy or being sad. And it helps with negativity. So because of it being aura, right, reflective, it helps to dispel and break apart negative energy. So think of it in that way too when you're communicating. It will break apart, or it can break apart that negative, maybe that negative tone that you might be instantly thinking of, and go from being rude to being direct.
Nice.
Or it could be me wishful thinking, right?
Yes.
For everybody. Because I think that, and being back where I am in New England, I find that people are they are rude. This part, they think they're being direct. And it's like, again, there's a difference between being direct and being rude. And direct is just being able to, share the information, and give the information. But rudeness is, that's totally a different level. Totally. Yeah. So yeah, but for us, the fact that we've had two communication stones back to back, just really amplifies that right now. Communication, which by the way is not always about speaking, it's about listening as well. And here in listening is just actually, I think that's far more important than speaking.
Well, and very interesting too is we've been dealing with the Mercury, which is the communication planet.
Yeah.
It rules Gemini. It's squaring Saturn tomorrow. I mean, there's a lot of activity right now with Mercury, which is the planet of communication. So for the last couple of weeks, for us to come up with the stones that support that transit.
Yeah.
I love it when the woo is present, And
it is. And to remind everybody once again, these stones, this group of crystals, and I posted it recently. I'll repost the crystals of the week. I'll do it again. We selected these last March. So March of 2023. All the crystals of 2024 were selected. And so when it comes to it, we don't really, I don't focus on what the crystal of the week is until I am at that moment, mainly because I don't want to prejudge or overthink, that energy and that intuition and that intuitiveness that I'm getting. For me, the intuitiveness is pay attention to communication. Be willing to be an active listener. And really it is about active listening, because you may not hear what someone's actually saying if all you're doing is listening. That too is a great, very big difference.
Yes. Excellent. All right, let's do this. Today's number of the day, Miss Krista.
7. So it's really good. I'm glad you did this. So let's start with the fact that it's June 11th. Okay. Because I just love the number 11. 11 is a master number. I'll go to 7 in a second. 11 is a master number. It's also one of those numbers that when you see it, people will frequently talk about the double numbers. So I want to share this because 1111, and when you see it together as 1111, and this is, visualize these being 2 1s, right? 1111. I've come to think of it as a gateway or a doorway, right? And at night, because a couple of our clocks are 24-hour clocks. So at night, the other time that I get excited is I'll see 2222, which for those who need that translated, it's 10:22 at night. That too is another gateway. That's another doorway. So when I see that, I always am like conscious of what I'm thinking, what I might be wishing for, what I might be wanting to have happen, where just where my thought is, right? Where my intention is, because those are the messages that we're also receiving back that, hey, you're being heard, you're being supported, you're headed in that right direction. So when you see it, it's like, oh, what was I just thinking? Because I'm getting a message back. Or maybe I set my intention earlier that day to receive messages for that throughout the day. So on master numbers, which are the doubles, 11, 22, 33, think about that as being messages to you of being heard and being supported. Now on to 7. This works as well because 7 is all about your spiritual growth, your spiritual journey. And so for today, we're talking about communication, right? With the Aqua Aura. Well, a lot of what communication isn't just with others. It's with yourself. It is with source, right? It's with where your spiritual journey, your path is. Your growth is. So today is about that communication. Spend some time sitting with yourself. Spend some time journaling, maybe. Write down, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a lot, but write down the thoughts that you are having and then go back and reflect on them. What do I mean by going back and reflecting? Here's a journal idea. Write down your thoughts on the one page, right? Like right now, what your thoughts are, where you're going, where, the trajectory of that journey, that path. And then later on this evening, after you've done some stuff through the day, go back and write down things that happened. Then see, does anything match up? Now, tomorrow, do the same thing. Write down your thoughts on the one page. Write down some experiences you have. See what matched up. But then don't forget, go back to the day prior. What matched up to that?
Yeah.
One of the things you're going to start seeing are patterns. Now, some people would say, well, you're creating that pattern. No. Okay, yes. Could you be? Sure, you could be creating the pattern. Or what you're actually starting to do is pay attention to the synchronicities that occur within your life. And these may be synchronicities that have been occurring over and over and over again. You just aren't putting any awareness into what it is. Now, those synchronicities could be positive. They could be lessons. They could be opportunities. Look and see. That's one of the cool things about journaling with intention.
I love it. I love it.
That's my thought for the number 7 of the day.
Well done. All right, my dears, let's do this. I think I have learned a very valuable lesson in the work that I've been doing for the podcast each day. And that is, before Damaris branched off on her own, and we had the 3 segments, right? I would start looking up the stuff for the crystal, right? And Spirit would give me a title, a topic to talk about. And always it all wound itself together, right? Well, the last couple of weeks, I've been asking for help from ChatGPT, and I've been asking for a topic that kind of weaves everything together. I'm unrelated to the topic. I have no fucking idea what to talk about as far as what it gave me. So here's the thing. And here's why this is really, really important, because we're talking about communication. We're talking about inner communication. We're talking about our communication with source. We're talking about what we have done with situations in the past and how we talk to ourselves that, as a result of that, whether we think we're worthy, whether we don't think we're worthy, what we think we're capable of, or maybe not, right?
Yeah.
So it does come down to harnessing all of these energies for the sake of transformation, right? As a nutshell, that's exactly it, right? Harnessing the energy of the Aqua Aura Quartz and what it can do as far as our directness and our compassion. As you were talking about that, one of my favorite axioms kept playing through my head, and that is gone now.
Buffering.
Passion, brutal honesty is simply brutality. Yeah. You don't have to do anything but breathe and die, right?
Yep.
But if you infuse your communication, no matter how direct it may be, with compassion for the situation that other person may be in. You know how they say, be gentle, be kind. You never know what someone is going through.
Exactly.
Then that will be heard a whole lot easier than the lack of compassion, the directness of bluntness and rudeness, hitting a wall and getting bounced back at you. Does that make sense? you know.
Oh, completely.
Yeah. So sometimes it takes a little help. Sometimes it takes a piece of blue lace agate in your pocket. Sometimes it takes a piece of Aqua Aura Quartz, which, by the way, for those of you who have answered or have been listening, Krista gave us the answer to the question that I asked when we put the show together today. So if you know what that answer is, go ahead and put it in the comments now. All right.
What's the question?
You know what quartz is treated with in order to create Aqua Aura Quartz.
Yes, exactly. What is it? I did give the answer.
You did give the answer.
I did give the answer, and that was Gregory walking in and out.
Hi, Gregory. Yeah, so the answer to that, should we tell him again just in case?
I can tell you guys the answer again. It is treated with gold. Yeah. And that's what it does. And then I forget what the one is called.
The white one is Angel Aura, and
Angel Aura is treated with silver.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because it gets this rainbow oil slick.
Yeah.
To the white of it. It's very pretty.
It is. I mean, and like I said, I saw it at the we do have some people guessing it. Oh, here comes Gregory again.
Is your coven of witches?
I am. So yeah. But it's really kind of cool. And then like the Angel Aura is the silver. And then there's another aura that's with copper, and I forget that one.
What color does that one turn?
I forget. I have to look that one up.
Okay. All
I
right.
think it makes that blackish color.
Mm.
There's that dark aura color over the quartz. I'll have to double check. It's been a long time since I've done the research on that one. I was doing a thing about metals and research about the metals and crystals, because I believe it or not, certain metals amplify better with particular crystals. And just because jewelry is set in one metal does not mean that it's actually energetically better.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes.
And always, pay attention that silver is silver and white gold is different.
It is. Yes. And it can be. Yep. Yes, it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So definitely this week, as you're doing what you need to do, especially when you're doing tomorrow's work of taking a look at residual thoughts that are left behind and clearing those out, meditating and giving up your addiction to overthinking. This is a really good exercise to put in place, to be using those crystals to do the meditation or the writing down that Krista was talking about, so that you can see where those inner conversations get you to, and maybe how to stop having ones that are unkind to yourself. Because don't forget, we're not just talking about talking to other people. We're talking about how you talk to yourself as well.
Exactly. Right? And how you talk to yourself. This is really a good way of looking at it. Would you say the things that you say to yourself to your loved one, a best friend, your children, your spouse, or is it that what you say to yourself, you only think you're worthy of, which really is not worthy at all?
Yeah.
And we're all guilty of it at one point or another. The thing is not to get caught in the cycle.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Tracy's got a really great question for us here. What stones are better set in silver than gold?
So here is any of the divine feminine stones are better in silver. So one that's off the top of my head is moonstone. Moonstone does so much better in silver than it does in gold. One that can be either or is lapis lazuli, because in that one, lapis lazuli is about it's a higher intensity communication and intuition stone. And so depending upon that route of what you're wanting to do, for me, if I'm wanting to really dive deep into my intuition, I'm of course going to use a silver. I want it set in silver. Whereas if you're wanting to work more with that strength, that inner knowing strength, having a lapis lazuli in gold, because there's that masculine sun, being very confident in who you are. That would be a reason to have it in gold. Another stone, I'm trying to think of another stone. Blue kyanite would be another one that would be better in silver, because it's a good communicator, and the way it works with you in terms of working that whole throat chakra and how the fibers are set, or how the fibers go, a silver would amplify better for that. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Tiger's eye can go either way. Golden tiger's eye. The traditional gold tiger's eye. I think you can have that in either gold. Let me say this, in a white metal or a yellow metal. I'm not getting that it needs to be silver.
Right.
Just you can do it in a white metal or a yellow metal. Any of the quartzes are better, in my opinion, with silver versus gold. So if it's a quartz based, you're going to want it in silver.
Yeah.
I can sit and maybe I'm not committing to doing it today, but that's a really good question. I'll see, maybe I'll categorize a couple of stones better in white metal or silver, because there's some stones that are much better in copper. And then of course gold.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's when you do that, I would love to see if there is context for when you would want this to be in silver, not just white gold, right? Not just white metal, right? But for the feminine receptive properties enhancement that silver would provide to whatever that stone is, right?
Yeah.
Or, even in white gold, the masculine properties that you're trying to enhance in whatever stone that may be.
Being someone who wears white gold, like all my wedding rings are white gold. My engagement ring is white gold with platinum, because I'm very for some reason, I cannot tell you, I've had to have my diamond reset a number of times because I break my prongs or I bend my prongs.
Okay.
And I have no clue how I do it. I don't have any idea. So being somebody, I can say that I don't feel like that's an overly masculine energy. I feel like it's the white gold part of it, I feel is a balanced energy. Yellow gold, though, I do feel like is more of a masculine energy. I have a lot of thoughts on yellow gold as well, about history in its correlation in wearing it as jewelry. I think of it more along the terms of bindings and chains.
Ooh.
Not sure where I'm coming up with that, but that's kind of how I sometimes, that's the sense I'm getting. So I will, that would be a really good.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be lovely.
A good research project.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick look at today's card of the day. All right. Now, this is interesting, I do believe. 5 of Wands. Look at that card. Is that a fight or a dance?
I think it can go either way. I saw it as a dance.
Yep. See, and that's why I always ask that question with that card, right? Because it could be a fight, it could be a dance. It's essentially trouble in groups, challenges in groups, right? So today's affirmation is, through challenges, I find my strength and refine my vision. All right. So when we're looking at all of this that we've been talking about today and how we talk to ourselves and how we talk to each other and active listening and being direct without being rude, right? We will stumble across many, many challenges, right? The thoughts that challenge the current way that we're doing things, possibly miscommunications with other people that we're trying to discuss things with, and maybe we're coming across a little rough, or we could be a little bit kinder. Those challenges are going to point us to where we need to refine ourselves, where we are sidestepping or being distracted from our vision, right?
Mhm.
All of that. And it's a really great day to bring all of this together. 55 with 5 viewers on the screen. It's time for change.
I love it.
Huh. Nice. All right, my dears. So you have your assignment, if you will.
I do.
Right? We got some writing to do.
I do.
Meditating to do. And we are good. All right, my dear Krista, do you have anything to say to finalize everything, wrap it all up?
Just be aware of how it's all. I'm going to go back into that communication. Be aware of how you're communicating and ask yourself, are you listening? Are you being an active listener? And then definitely pause before you speak, before you respond back. See how that, sorry, Kevin's pointing. Are you talking to me? Yeah, just go ahead. I mean, be kind to yourself. Be kind, in that conversation. Be kind to what you're saying to others. There's always, you can be direct without being hurtful. Mm-hmm. And Aqua Aura will help because it helps with that whole communication on all those levels. And if you need to, add in the blue lace agate. Work with both of them. You don't have to be one or the other. Yeah. You can work with it together, and that will definitely help.
Thank you, Sue. That's cute. I love it. You're absolutely right about all of that. And especially with doing that inner work and taking a look at how you talk to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Use that Aqua Aura Quartz to become direct in a more positive way, if that makes sense. And what was the other thing that was that I was going to say about that? It's gone. If I remember, I'll post it later. But yeah, that's good stuff. No, it wants to come back. Hold on.
Okay. I'm going to put this up. Oh, no, I can't.
What?
I can't put things up anymore. Tracy put a comment that I thought was kind of cute.
That's good. I got you right there. Lovely. Yes. All right. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. All right, my friends, we're going to head out, and thank you so very much for joining us again today. One last thing I got to ask all of you, okay? Facebook has come out with new guidelines in the last day.
Yes.
Yesterday, in fact, that disallows us from broadcasting into the Three Crones and the Woo Woo page or the Three Crones and the Woo Woo group on Facebook. We can broadcast to the Three Crones and the Woo Woo YouTube page, And we are. You may be watching us on that now. Here's the criteria we don't meet. We don't have more than 100 people on our page or in our group.
Yeah.
So we are asking all of you to share both the page and the group with your friends. Let's get the party started. Bring all of your woo-woo, witchy kind of interesting, rock-loving, tarot reading girlfriends, guy friends even.
Yeah, definitely.
So that we can continue to grow and to continue to serve all of you on a weekly basis and intermittently in between.
Yes.
Best way we can. All right. So thank you. Really appreciate your effort and really appreciate your presence here week after week. We
For
couldn't
sure.
do without you to talk to. All right. Love you, Krista.
Love you.
Love you guys. See ya, baby.
Bye.